This is one story that you may never forget in a long time. Alex was so exhausted. It was really late and he had been out with his friends all day. All he wanted at that point was for him to just get home and crash on his bed. He was so tired. So he checked his phone and then discovered that his Uber was just few minutes away. So after a while, he looked up and there it was, his Uber was here. So he got into the vehicle and greeted the driver. He also waited for a confirmation as usual from the driver, but the driver just remained quiet. Alex, was so tired, so all he had in mind was just for him to get home. So he didn't think much of it and just let the driver do his job. Though the vehicle was so smelly of cigarettes, alcohol and all of that, but he just suspected that it could be that the driver probably might have picked up some different kinds of people all day. So Alex just, relaxed himself and was trying to just remain calm until he gets home. But after a while, Alex noticed that the driver was taking an unusual route. But he thought that the app was just recommending a different route based on how that area was or that vicinity was for that day. But this kept happening severally until after a while, Alex received a notification on his phone saying that his driver was just 2 minutes away. Now Alex was really confused. He opened the app and was trying to check and then realized that he wasn't even seated in the car that was supposed to pick him up. The car that was supposed to pick him up was identified by the app to be close by to his pickup location. That was the moment Alex realized that he had gotten into the wrong vehicle. At that point, Alex started getting scared. His heart started to pound. Then he had to ask the driver, sorry, is this the way to Green Street? Is something wrong with the other route? Still, the driver chose to remain silent. The driver just stayed focused and gazed on the road. At that point, Alex started to suspect that he was getting kidnapped or something like that. But he noticed that the car was approaching a red light, so he saw a good chance to escape. He reached for the door handle and tried to open it and just jump out of the car. But as he tried to do that, he realized that the doors were actually locked. That was when Alex knew that something was really wrong with the vehicle that he was in. So he started to shout at the driver, stop the car, I want to get out, I want to stop here, I don't want to go on this journey anymore. But the driver said nothing. It even got worse because as soon as the traffic light had turned green, the driver sped up the vehicle. Just as panic was settling in, Alex then noticed that the driver's hands on the wheel were, trembling. His hands were shaking profusely, like really shaking. His eyes weren't even really focused on the road. It looked as though he wanted to fall asleep or something, and his eyes were red in color, like really red. It was at that point that Alex knew that the driver was drunk. Now, Alex knew he needed to really act fast, so he did something really strange. He grabbed onto the wheel with all of his strength and tried to swerve it by the roadside, just so the vehicle could stop. That was the point that the driver started to speak. He looked at Alex and started to say, "Hey, what are you doing? Get your hands off the wheel. You're going to crash this car." And it happened to be that Alex's plan was actually a successful one because the driver had stopped the car. Immediately, Alex unlocked the door and jumped out of the vehicle. Alex had peace of mind. He was safe. But as soon as he jumped out, the vehicle zoomed off. Then he looked at it and then realized that he didn't even check the plate number at the back of the car because it wasn't correlating with the one that was supposed to pick him up. You see, it's really important for each and every one of us to pay attention to details, irrespective of the situation that we find ourselves, irrespective of how we feel. It's just really important that you make sure that you're getting yourself into the right place, into the right thing at the right time, so you don't end up somewhere that you're not supposed to be. But let me ask you, if you had found yourself in this situation, what would you have done? Or what exactly do you think is the best thing to do if anyone should find themselves in that kind of vehicle? If you love this video and you would love to see more, kindly do well to like, leave a comment and subscribe. God bless.